Hi there. Today we're going to have a look at how to add a dimension onto a polyline. Now this may be used for road developers for putting the length of a road or a section of road on. It will dimension the whole of a polyline because the way we're going to do this is by picking the property of that polyline, the length property of the polyline, and we're going to display that as a dimension. So you might have to split the polyline into the segments that you want individually measured, for example up to a junction, so you can show options for coming into the junction or going out of the junction rather than inclusive lengths of the whole road on a preset route. The first thing we need to do is we need to have our polyline. So here's my polyline going along there, and I just click on it to select to show you that the whole thing selects as a polyline. All I need to do is I need to go into Insert and Field, and the field that I'm going to insert is an object field, and the object I'm going to select, and it's going to be the polyline. Yeah. It doesn't give you the chance to see what you've selected, so do make sure you check it first of all by selecting before you go into the field object. Here are all the properties to do with that field that I can select. I can select the length, and we'll choose decimal units, and I'm going to say precision of 0 and additional format. I'm going to put in space M to represent meters because that's the units that I'm working in, and it gives me a preview here showing me how it will look. Yeah, so that's the actual value. So I've actually got a 0.6 extra there, which is going to round up. OK and OK again. I now get to choose the height of the polyline, not the height of the polyline, the height of the dimension. And obviously it depends on how you're working. I've used 30 for this example, it seems to work fine. Click on there and it's located that there. So that's the dimension. It's not actually a dimension, it doesn't have points. Clearly I'd put some kind of symbol, depending on whatever your standard is, to mark the start and finish points. And I'd probably use a circle with a crosshair in it. But something that you can use to annotate where the start and end of that measured point is, or measured distance is. Now let's have a look at that there. That's 4875. Let's see what happens if I change the length of the polyline. And you'll actually notice that nothing happens, because what I need to do is I need to actually manually update this. Now there are a couple of different ways of doing it. Probably the best is to regen, which will regenerate data in your drawing. As soon as I do regen 6845, it's now changed the length of that line. So if I do that again, shrink it down, 6845 at the moment, regen 5048. Okay, so you can see there that it is actually working to do the regeneration. I've seen lots of different ways of doing this. I've seen people writing Lisps to do it and measuring, offsetting, putting dimension lines on it. I personally think all of that's a bit unnecessary. All you actually want is a tag next to the line somewhere, and the simplest way I've found of doing it is as I've just described. Okay, I'm the Adobe guy. I hope this has been useful, and thank you for listening.